I was wondering if I had been unfair to Kamen Rider Drive because I recently did a video about Tomaya Warabino about how he played both Heart in Kamen Rider Drive and Gento in Ultraman Blazar. And anyway, you should check that out. It's a good one. It'll be in the pinned comment as well as other things. Anyway, it got me thinking though about how much I dislike Drive, and somebody challenged me in the comments about it, and I thought maybe Drive was okay. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe, it's all right. So I thought about Drive for a little bit of time, and then I looked up some stuff, and I thought, well, let me fact check myself, because I'm pretty sure these are the reasons that I dislike Kamen Rider Drive. And I thought, it can't be that bad. It's got to be, there has to be something there. There was a redemption for Heart, wasn't there? And that's one of my big deals. That's one of my big problems with the shows. There's a redemption for Heart, sort of, in the show itself. But I think more than that, it's the redemption for Heart is actually in the bonus material, the V Cinema, the Kamen Rider Drive Next, or whatever they call them. And I looked it up, and I flushed the V Cinema stuff out of my mind because it doesn't make sense, and it's not in the body of the show, and I'm not judging them. I'm judging the actual show of Drive. And first of all, I gotta say, Kamen Rider Drive has an amazing soundtrack. I think the music in the show is good, but the opening song specifically, Surprise Drive, is fabulous, and I absolutely love it. And it's such a good song that it makes me angry that it's so good, and it's attached to such a show that I dislike. But also, there's other things that I like from the show. Kiriko's fantastic. A really enjoyable character, really interesting. Just the way the little cars work is pretty neat. The suit is pretty cool, actually. When he gets his upgrade in the middle of the season, that's super dope. And there's a lot of good things about the show, and there's a lot of things I should like, but it's hampered by the things that I don't like, which I think are pretty unforgivable, which is that Kamen Rider Drive wants to be kind of very old school and very classy and appeal to the original writer theme, I think. They're really going for that. We've got Chase, or Kamen Rider Chase, whatever you want to call him, who has different permutations throughout the show. He starts off the show as this Romeo bounty hunter, and we get to see this cool thing where he's got all these different weapons, and he's got this very, metal kind of aspect to him, and he's riding a motorcycle, unlike Drive, who's driving a car. And there's all these things that make him feel like, oh, he's like a throwback to the original Kamen Rider. He's got this tragic backstory. I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on with him, and he develops as a character throughout the show, and I really enjoyed his journey. And honestly, had he been the guy, I would have enjoyed the show a lot more. However, had there also not been the inclusion of certain other characters, I also would have enjoyed the show a lot more. But besides that, I think one of my core issues is that it violates the spirit of Kamen Rider, which is that Kamen Rider is tragic, and he's got a lot of guilt, and he's got a lot of pathos attached to what he's doing, which is that he's having to be this cyborg soldier. 001, you could say. Not really. And he's fighting alone, and he's fighting this battle, and he's been forever changed by what Shocker did to him, and he protects innocent people based on that. Spoilers for Drive. In Drive, he's a regular guy, for the most part. All of the enemies that he fights were once good robots, once good AI cyborg people, and they all got turned evil on purpose by somebody for reasons. And then there's no concern for that. There's no sadness with that. There's no pathos. They at one point put up a hit list of, these are all the rest of the Romudes that we have to kill, and we're going to kill them one by one and cross them out on this murder board. And there's no remorse with him taking out all these Romudes who have been forcibly turned evil. Instead of trying to find a cure to make them good again, it's just, let's kill them all, until it gets to the very end of the show. And then I think the episode is actually called Who Loves Heart the Most? And then he's working on trying to defend, trying to save Heart somehow, and he calls Shinosuke, the Kamen Rider Drive, he calls Heart his friend, and that's how the show ends. And it's just really bizarre to me, and it doesn't make any sense, and I don't get it. I don't understand why anybody would like that, and it really ruins it. It feels like it violates the spirit of it to me, because it should be tragic and it should be sad, but it's not. And then where sympathy is deserved, it is not given, and it's completely misapplied. And I don't understand what's going on. So those are some of the things that confuse me, some of the things that make me so against this thing, and they're what makes me feel so frustrated about it and not understand at all why anybody likes it, how anybody who's a fan of the original could enjoy it. And it's also internally inconsistent with itself. And I really don't understand that. So let me know what you think about Kamen Rider Drive. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you feel like me? Do you think I'm crazy? I would love to hear you out and have a conversation about it. Check the pinned comments for more. This is MJ with Rider Tears signing out.